On today's show,
How worried are we about Miami's playoff chances and Brian Shaw's coaching job?
we open up the mailbox and ask which player would benefit most from working with a former star.
And we'll look at a few guys who could probably use a change of scenery.
It's Wednesday, February 4th. The starter starts now.
Good day, Sweet World, and welcome to the starters. Whether you're joining us live online, listening to the podcast, or catching us on NBA TV, we're very, very happy to have you. I'm J.E. Skeets, and alongside me, hold on, not right beside me, but instead up in the rafters as part of his pick 'em payoff, there he is, Tas Melas.
How do you do?
To my right, starters blog editor Trey Kirby.
Hey!
Hey!
Oh!
And finally, the international man of mystery, Lee Ellis.
Friends.
Yes, Lee. Trey, excuse me. No, Tas, that's the other one up there. I'm all discombobulated with Tas way up there. As part of his pick 'em payoff, he lost the month of January. We have decided to put him, a good 3 stories high? Wow. Above the starter set.
It's the
Have
latest
I lost
addition
or
to
have
the
I
starter.
won? I just hope my belly doesn't pull me forward down onto the floor here. I've gained a few pounds.
I like how you're really taking the safety very
Hey,
serious here with the helmet.
It's not me. I didn't want a safety harness, but in the NBA TV studio, that's me going up there, harnessed all up. I'm not falling down. There you go. As soon as I got up there on the scissor lift, I locked in.
All right.
Gotta clip in.
Well, safety first. No, I appreciate it. Tas.
Just like Tony Danza used to tell Samantha Maselli. 2 words, safe and tea.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get into it. We got lots to get to on tonight's show. Yeah, it'll be a weird
He's my hero. Tony's my hero.
pick and payoffs. Always weird. We have a new game today. All right. It's called very simply, How Worried Are You? And we
About
have.
Tas?
How worried are we about Tas falling? Yeah, that's true. No, a couple questions, NBA topics. How worried are you? To make it a little easier for everyone and play along at home, we've got a scale from little worried to very worried. We'll take you through the levels here. Level 1 is milk 1 day past expiration date worried. Okay?
Yeah, you can survive.
Yeah, not a big deal. Level 2, a little more worried. Tummy troubles in traffic worried.
Gotta get home.
Just think about that one for a second.
Every red light.
Level 3, gonna miss your flight worried.
Well, that's worrisome.
I hate that.
Yeah.
That's level
Especially
3.
at Christmas.
Yeah.
So it's only gonna get worse. Level 4, you left a candle burning at home worried.
Very, very dangerous.
Yeah.
Be dangerous, yes. And level 5, the ultimate worry, your daughter is dating a biker worried.
Literally my greatest fear in life.
So, play along, jump on Twitter, # the starters. Here's the first one. The Miami Heat, another devastating loss last night. They got killed by the Pistons. So I want to know, how worried are you about the Miami Heat's playoff chances? And we'll start with Tas. How worried are you, Tas?
I'm level 2, tummy trouble in traffic worried. I
Okay.
believe the Heat will get to their destination without an incident in the car, but it's still a little bit worrisome. The way they've been playing, as you mentioned, Skeets has been extremely, extremely bad. But let's take a look at the standings and where this team is in the Eastern Conference. Let's remember they are in the East. They're in 8th, currently 1.5 games up on the Nets on the 9th spot. Now, here are a couple reasons why I think they're still going to make the postseason. First, let's start with Dwayne Wade. As we know, another hamstring injury, his 3rd hamstring injury the last couple years. It's worrisome, but it is good timing in the fact that it's right around the All-Star break. So if he hangs out during that All-Star break, it's a nice week off. And he's only going to miss 4 games if he comes right back after the All-Star break. And 2 of those games are against the Timberwolves and the Knicks.
Yeah, and Wade has been legitimately great this year when
Yeah.
he's been on the court.
Yeah.
It's just the staying on the court, which has been a problem, because without him, their guard rotation is just pretty bad.
Pretty
Yeah,
weak.
the reason this is a question, of course, is not just the losses, it's how they're losing.
Yeah.
We saw it against the Pistons. There was a 25-1 run from Detroit in the first quarter. Friday night, similar 37-2
Yeah.
run by the Mavericks. I mean, there are just stretches in games where they first off can't stop anyone and also can't score the basketball.
And the problem with that is they don't seem to show any sort of resilience at all. I mean, the Mavericks put up 37-2 run, and Miami just seemed to go down the other end and didn't get angry. No one took a hard foul. No one seemed to sort of say, let's end this run right now. Let's go out there and make sure we get a few shots, even get to the free throw line and do something. They just seemed to sort of let Dallas run all over them, and the same thing with the Pistons to start the game last night.
That's where I think they will turn it on in the second half when they need to, because they've got this weird tendency of turning it on when they need to, just like the LeBron years. And it shows because their road record is fantastic, which is extremely odd. They're above 500 on the road, but they're 8-15 at home, which
Yeah.
just shows you when they need to win, when they need to turn it on, they will. And I think their fan base will rally around them a little bit in the second half when they know, okay, we've got to get into the postseason. I think they have that habit of the last 4 years of kind of being in chill mode. If it going gets tough in the second half and they need to pull out a win, I think that's when, they will come out to play.
And in the second half of the season, they have the Knicks, Magic, 76ers, and Celtics twice. Those are games that are going to help you improve your record, whether at home or on the road.
Yeah, the one thing for me, though, and it's been a worry, I think Heat fans would agree, all season long, is the point guard play.
Yeah.
Chalmers, Cole, Shabazz, they're getting next to nothing from these guys.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, a part of that is the whole LeBron impact. You take
helps.
away LeBron, who really is your de facto point guard
Yeah.
out there when he's playing, and these guys have to carry out the load. I mean, they're just not giving him anything.
No, I mean, Cole and Chalmers, they were battling for that starting role at the start of the year. And it looked like Cole was actually really going to make a big leap, but he's fallen back. And, Shabazz Napier, he's a rookie, so I don't think you can expect too much out of him. The problems for the Heat, they're deeper than that right now. They need to find some sort of consistency and some sort of resiliency. But, of course, being in the Eastern Conference, everyone's a chance to make the playoffs, and that's what really is saving them at the moment.
All right.
They'll feel a lot better when Dwayne Wade comes back. I think Chris Bosh is pretty happy playing beside Hassan Whiteside. You can go back to that 4 spot. I think they'll be comfortable.
All right, next one. On Sunday, Brian Shaw told the media that he thinks his Nuggets players might not be trying so hard out there, possibly trying to lose on purpose, he even threw out there, given how bad their effort's been. Last night, they lose to the Sixers badly. They got spanked by the 76ers. So you got to know, how worried are you about the Denver Nuggets giving up on their head coach, Brian Shaw?
This is level 5.
Uh-oh.
My daughter is dating a biker worried. Yes, you will not date a biker, but unfortunately...
A biker without a shirt on.
Yeah,
the worst biker.
These Denver Nuggets are in a bad situation, just like my daughter, unfortunately. They've lost 10 of 11, and they're not closing out. They're not cutting hard.
No.
You watched the game yesterday against the Sixers. They're down 28 on the road. I think it was even worse last week against the Bucks at home, down 29 points. It's a terrible thing. It's just a terrible thing going on. They're not ready to play. And I think, it showed from the beginning of the season when they started 1-6, 5 of those losses, they had given up 110 to about 131 points. I know these players never fit together, but now the effort is sort of gone. I think he's kind of lost the locker room.
Yeah, this isn't the first time we've heard these sort of comments from Brian Shaw in the past couple of weeks. It's been 3 or 4 times already, and they kind of had problems, the Nuggets did, with Brian Shaw from the very start. He kind of couldn't figure out the rotation, whether they should play fast or slow, who he even wanted playing on the court. It was just kind of been a disaster since the start of last season.
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of time before he's gone, really, because you said the players don't respond to him. He seems like not the right coach for this team as well. And the fact that they dealt Mozgov for 2 first-round picks tells me that they're looking to rebuild anyway. So they're probably going to look to make a few more moves and start again. And if you're going to start again, you may as well get a new coach in there, because this one just has not worked with Brian Shaw.
Yeah, that's definitely the hard part, too, is that not only has Brian Shaw been a little disappointing, so has basically everybody on the Nuggets. Who do you even keep around?
Well, that's exactly right. I mean, it's weird to think this team won 57 games just a few years ago.
Yeah.
That, of course, was when George Karl was the coach of the year. Masai Ujiri was there helping build that team. And just in a little short amount of time, they're struggling now, 8.5 back. They thought they were a playoff team. That's the thing. Like, some people thought maybe they should blow it up. But they coming into this season were like, no, we should compete.
Yeah.
We should be around a 48, 49, 50 win team. And, again, 19-30 at the moment, 11th in the West and 8.5 back. Like, there's no chance that they're catching your Suns or your Pelicans or your Thunder, even for that eight spot that everyone wants. And again, there's the numbers, both offensively and defensively, since George Karl has left.
Yeah.
Just the wrong way, the wrong direction, as we've called it.
For sure.
Not great for them. All right, final one here, guys. How worried are you about DeMarcus Cousins' effort? Because he was up to not really trying for a couple possessions again last night. We've seen it a couple times.
I'm level 4, left a candle at home burning, worried. And it's not so much short-term DeMarcus's effort, because I think he is committed to this team. He signed there through 2018. I just think that things are starting to build slowly with DeMarcus to a point where it's sort of going to boil over. You saw him yesterday. He forgot that he was on the defensive end. He thought he was probably playing offense in this possession. But as we know, this guy is a guy to build your franchise around. This is year 5, though. They're not going to make the playoffs in year number 5. I don't see them making it even in year 6. Yeah, I'm projecting, but that's the way I see it going. And there's just a bunch of things that have happened around DeMarcus, including not being informed that his favorite coach was being fired. He found out about it on Twitter, as he told Sam Amick. And then he also found out that his replacement, Tyrone Corbin, was being signed for the rest of the year on social media. So I just think, just like Kevin Love, who only lasted 6 years in Minnesota, I think DeMarcus, at the end of year 6, after not making the postseason, after having all these things happen to him, he might just boil over at some point. And again, I don't think he's not trying, but sometimes he kind of has a brain lapse. But again, he's been incredible, and he deserves to be on the All-Star team.
It's not just that play where I agree with you. I think he thought he was on offense. Legitimately was like, we don't have the ball, and then they threw the oop. But the glares he's shooting at guys now that are not closing out or playing poor defense, I mean, he's just throwing daggers at every single guy on that team. And it does feel like it's just boiling and boiling and boiling, and he's going to explode.
Also, pretty much what everyone thought would happen when they fired Mike Malone.
Yep.
That was the guy that had reached him, and they're saying, see ya, and didn't tell him about it.
Yeah, you're right. All right, lots more still to come on the show. Tess, you good? You got water up there and everything?
I'm good.
Yeah, all right. Well, when we come back,
I haven't fallen yet.
when we return the starters mailbox, we'll get into it and answer a few of your questions, like a couple guys that could mentor some of the young kids in the games. Come on back. You're watching the Starters.
Oh, look, there's mail. We got mail. Woohoo!
Back with the starters into the mailbox. Yes, there's Tass, if you're just joining us, way high above the starter set as part of his pick-em payoff. Yeah, there he is.
Hey, buddy.
Still doing a little construction up there. All right, first question. After watching a marathon of Kitchen Nightmares, it got me thinking about NBA teams hiring ex-players as consultants to try to fix their players. I remember Keon Dooling being hired by the Celtics to mentor Rondo. My question, who needs a consultant and who should it be? That email from Dan in Connecticut. Good
I
question.
think Patrick Beverley of the Rockets could be mentored by Gary Payton. It's a perfect match. He just needs to know when to turn it on and when to turn it off, like Gary found out how to do. Because I think Patrick can get into foul trouble. He can just be a little over-aggressive at times. Also, Gary Payton knew how to set guys up, and I think Patrick Beverley could do a little bit more of that. Take some of the burden off James Harden, because James, you're going to burn out. The offense could run better if Beverley took on some of that.
Well, it's not that Anthony Davis needs much work, but I think it'd be nice for him to work with Karl Malone. He's the second leading scorer ever. Could teach him the intricacies of the pick and roll, the fadeaway, kicking the Hibberts, jump shot. But more importantly, the one knock on Anthony Davis, he's not super strong. You get in the weight room with Karl Malone, you're going to bulk up.
I think Andrew Wiggins would really benefit from being mentored by Grant Hill. They're about the same size. They both came out under similar circumstances too, very high picks with a lot of expectations. But also the position Wiggins finds himself in right now with Minnesota is kind of similar to the way it was with Grant Hill in Detroit. Team that was struggling, rebuilding around a big star. I think Andrew Wiggins is that guy. I think he's got similar game as well, you know, like he's got a little bit of a jump shot, he's got that athleticism, and I think off the court as well, Grant Hill's such a stand-up guy that could really help Andrew handle all the endorsements and things that are coming his way.
All right, next question. Play along at home, by the way. Jump on Twitter, # starters. I saw on Instagram, I love this question, that Lee has a nice Peru track jacket. There it is right there. Yeah. I'm an archaeologist, working in Peru, and I was wondering, what are your favorite NBA artifacts? Or what would you most like to add to the set? Also, where'd you go in Peru, Lee? Did you enjoy the wide variety of bananas? Thanks, love the show. That's from Brian. Now, I believe Brian is alluding to this Instagram photo of you with the ladies here.
That's right, yeah.
From Bar 3, your yoga, Pilates, ballet class.
That's right.
Would you just sneak in here on a Sunday?
Yeah, we just came around for a bit of a tour.
Okay, so there's the Peru jacket that he saw. When were you?
I've been there a few times. My wife is from Peru. That's why I've gone there. I've been there 3 or 4 times, yeah. So that's at Machu Picchu in Cusco.
Excellent.
Beautiful place.
How are the bananas?
Fine, yeah.
Yeah, good one. Lee loves his bananas, by the way.
That's fine. That's not much of an endorsement for Peruvian bananas.
Fine.
I honestly didn't think they were too special.
All right, well, what about the artifacts part?
Well, this came in, actually. This was a gift from a friend of Trey Kirby's, Tommy Pora, who found this at some sort of antique shop. It's a hat from the 1987 All-Star Game in Seattle, which if you're a fan of the show, you'll know that's the first game I ever saw, and I think it's the greatest game of all time.
And it's a cool hat.
And it's a really cool hat. And the thing is,
Cool hat, Dad.
I do want to wear this hat around, but then I don't want to ruin it as well. So it holds pride of place here.
It's
on
in
the
great
starters.
shape.
It's in great shape. He said it was in one of those bags, so someone had looked after it really well.
All right, what about you, Trey?
Last week on the show, we talked about our favorite non-stars to cheer for. Mine is Brad Miller, and we've accumulated quite a bit of Brad Miller game-worn memorabilia and a beautiful crown jewel of our bobblehead collection. But we've got a pair of shoes his wife sent me. We got a pair of shoes a buddy of mine sent me. And a fan sent in one of his game-worn wristbands with his very own sweat in here.
Oh yeah, that's disgusting.
Smells very good.
I'm going with my favorite part on the set is this one-on-one Shaq versus Hakeem Olajuwon Pog set.
Nice.
Pogs are back.
Pogs are back.
If you're like too young, there was a weird part in the mid-90s where Hakeem and Shaq were gonna play like one-on-one on pay-per-view.
Oh, yeah.
for like charity, but it never came to fruition. It was going to be through Taco Bell. They sort of had the ad, so they obviously made this. And we need to play Pogs on the show at some point.
And some slammers.
Yeah, exactly. What about you, Ted?
My favorite thing on the set are Lee and Trey's All-Star jerseys from last year, or should I say E-Dog and Taco's jersey
Yeah.
from last year. First, they chose to get those names on them for some odd reason. No one's called Lee E-Dog. Trey was called Taco because somebody changed his nickname on Wikipedia, but mostly because they wore them in last year's
nice.
Slam Dunk Contest.
yeah.
Get up, big man!
Yeah, there's some hops going on.
Nice 8-foot rim there. Throw down.
We're gonna have a dunk contest part 2 this year because Trey felt he was neat. He felt that he was screwed and that he should have won last year's dunk contest. You will see that live on our show February 13th, Friday at 6 Eastern from New York City, as we're there all weekend long. It'll be a blast. I think Trey's got this one. Also, on Saturday, February 14th, the top 20 NBA All-Star moments of all time at 4
I
Eastern.
can't wait for that.
Be sure to check in on NBA TV. Really, I was just plugging both of those.
Yeah, nice.
I hate those jerseys.
The
got a
dunk
spare one.
contest so good, we had to do it again.
People want to see a rematch.
All right, we got to step away for a second. When we return, which player needs a change of scenery the most? We'll tackle that and a whole lot more with the Starters. Welcome back to a very weird episode of The Starters. That's always the case when it's pick 'em payoff day. Taft's up there, up in the rafters, because he lost the month of January. But let's get into our new topic here. This is a lot of fun. Fran Blindberry over at NBA.com had a great post, new column, I should say, about some guys that could really use a change of scenery. And he listed 6 guys in particular and detailed the reasons why they could really use a change. Lance Stevenson, Reggie Jackson, Ty Lawson, Brooke Lopez, Thaddeus Young, and one of the Plum Dogs with the Suns, Miles Plumlee. A lot of these guys we have talked about before, but Tass, is there anyone like from that list that you particularly think really could use a change of scenery the most, maybe?
I think Reggie Jackson just hasn't looked like himself this year. I think it's highly unlikely he gets traded this season. They're not trading him because they think that he'll leave in the offseason. He's sticking around, trying to win a championship with this team, but with Dion Waiters being the first man off the bench, the three-point shooting setback for Reggie Jackson as a fourth-year player. His minutes are all over the place. It just doesn't feel right with Reggie, this guy who was supposed to be a breakout star.
Another guy who needs a change of scenery majorly is Thaddeus Young. His career started fine. He made the playoffs 4 out of his first 5 seasons, won 46% of his games. Not great, but okay. But then things turned around negatively as of 2012. In his last 3 seasons with Philadelphia and Minnesota, they've won 25% of these games. Just a sad thing. He's kind of had a sad career, just ended up being the last guy on that Philadelphia 76ers team, now playing for a horrible Timberwolves team. I feel bad for him.
And you feel like with him especially that he could be such a great 3rd or 4th guy on like a really
man,
good
yeah.
team, and you'd like to see
Or
that.
coming off the bench for Portland,
Yeah.
someone like that, I think it'd be really valuable to them.
Again, great article. Check it out, NBA.com from Fran Blindberry.
Nice hat.
Let's unleash. Yeah, I forgot you
too.
had the hat on. Let's unleash the unicorn. Get into the Starters Fantasy Minute. Come on out, unicorn. There you are. Got another question, guys, from Michael. He writes in, Kemba Walker was dropped in my league. Should I drop a mediocre player like JJ Redick or Mason Plumlee and pick him up? It's an interesting question. We obviously don't know enough details about your league.
Yeah.
Because in our league, head-to-head, our playoffs start like at week 21.
Yeah.
We're at week 15 right now, and we know Kemba Walker just had surgery, and they're saying 6 weeks. So that would put us at him coming back, in theory, right around when you would get into
Yeah.
the playoffs. So I think if you're one of the top teams in your league, again, if you're in head-to-head, and you're going to make the playoffs and that's a lock, I think you consider it. But Lee, you just dropped
Yeah.
Kemba Walker in our league because you're out of the playoffs.
I dropped him because I need someone to produce right now. But look at what he does when he does play. 18 points, not terrible percentages. Get you a couple of rebounds, a few assists, a steal, shoots the 3-pointers as well. He's not too bad. The only concern I would have if you do stash him, even when he comes back after 6 weeks, he might take another week or 2
Yeah.
just to get right again.
rough.
So
But again, if
Yeah.
you're one of the top teams, I think you consider
it's
it.
certainly good to have him stashed away if he comes back and produces straight away. But he's a good player. Yeah.
Absolutely. But you had to drop him.
I had to
what
drop
are
him.
you?
I
You're
got-
like 10th position right now.
9th, I think. I'm just ahead of you, I think.
All right, well, good luck, Michael, whatever
Picked
decision
up Jeremy Grant.
you make there. There he is, Tassie. I take one more break. When we come back,
Don't try to,
Whoa, don't put your
try to
feet up.
untie my shoes, JR.
pick and payoff results and a very solid play of the night, possibly 2. Back with the starters, a look at last night's pick-em payoff results. We're into the month of February, of course, and I gained another game. Suddenly up 3 games on Tass. I went 4-1, Tass 3-2, so I'm 7-3, he's 4-6 for the month. Tonight's picks, we disagree on a whole lot. Should be an interesting night. We both like the Pacers and the Bulls, and then we disagree on the Hawks game, the Nuggets game, and the Thunder Pelicans, and you see it there, who everyone is backing. So I either pull away tonight, or Tass is right back in this thing. But Lee,
Yes.
we got a few fan signs we've been trying to get into the show for a
Yes,
couple
we
days.
do. The first one comes from Screen the Dean, who was at a Philadelphia game last week. Took a photo there alongside at the front court. Nice seats. He came all the way from Albury, Australia.
Do you know him?
Yeah, I do. Hey, Tom, how you doing? Great to see you again. Yeah, so got a couple of puns on there from the starters there. He's got pun gun, #FreeMatteo.
Pretty wordy.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot on that side.
Yeah, lots of colour, nice.
Yeah.
And another one came from 3 bros at the Bucks game on Saturday night. Made a couple of signs there together and got down and had a good night. And Brandon Knight got snubbed and #the starters. Always good to get that hashtag in there.
They've got the Bucks hats on. That,
Yes,
the
yes.
Bucks kindly sent us as well. Also, a drawing, Lee. Another drawing of Lee. We asked you last week to send in your best.
Right.
Spot on.
Where does this fall then?
Well, it is missing the hat,
My
but
nose isn't quite that pointy, is
you
it?
weren't wearing the hat the day of
Right.
this drawing, so thanks to, I believe that's Shepard Smith, his son,
Yeah, it's a beauty.
drawing that. Yeah, pretty good, pretty good.
Got to work on your shoulders. Lee.
Let's get
Right.
to the very solid play of the night. Plays of the night, actually.
Well, yes, I'm going to Sacramento for mine. Now, this is how you execute at the end of a quarter, and this is also why they have Andre Iguodala out on their team, because they can have someone like him run this play, get a good high percentage look. You think it's going to Maurice Bates, and so does everyone else. Ends up with David Lee, puts it down for a beautiful finish. Just great execution. I love watching the Warriors play this year. They have so many great plays. That's another one, and that's what I call a very solid play.
Not badly, but when I saw this happen last night in Detroit, which is where I'm going, I thought this was going to guaranteed be your very solid play. We got the ball fizzing around the perimeter. Everybody touches it, finishes with a layup, clean catches, clean passes, a great look at the basket, and a bucket, and that's what I call a very solid play.
Which one is more solid? Let us know on Twitter. All right, that's it for today's crazy show. Hey, quick trust exercise, Tass. Jump. Come on, man.
Come on, buddy.
Come on, buddy.
I'm making a sexy male calendar here for call me Mr. February. Okay, guys,
right,
here we go. Thanks
Jump!
for joining us.
Do a somersault.
And remember,
Jump!
Whoa, hold
Hurry
on a
up!
second. Leap, and the net will appear. Baby. We got ready? Yeah. Are you ready?
Go,
All right.
go.